Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. With the holidays upon us, everybody's going to be making chocolate. You know, Halloween's coming, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And we love chocolate. So I decided to create a mold with a silicone putty that's food safe from Smooth On. It's called EQUINOX 40. And one of the reasons I decided to do this is because I got a gift a few weeks ago from a friend who gave me a gallon set. Awesome. I don't need this much, but hey, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, and you make the best of what you have. So what I'm using today is the EQUINOX 40, a few rubber bands, which I'll use at the after I demold my statue, which I cleaned off, and a board just to work on. No big deal. I don't need gloves. This stuff is pretty safe for me to handle. And then I'm going to let it cure for 5 hours. I have 30 minutes to handle the EQUINOX 40. Smooth On has a few other EQUINOXes, I think a 35 and a 38, that cure faster. But when you're doing large projects, you want a long pot life to work with this stuff. This is like a 30-minute pot life, so you want that time to play around with it. So I'm going to start doing this. What I'm going to do is dispense equal parts of my A and B. This is my B, and as you can see, my B is purple, and this is my A. As you can see from that, my A is white, which is really good because when you're mixing the two, you want to make sure you get an even color tone. So I'm going to pull out some of my B. I don't need a lot because all I'm trying to do is capture the head and maybe some of the shoulder. So you want to eyeball it and make sure, even that's too much, I'll throw some more in there. You want to eyeball it and make sure that your A and B are equal in volume. And that's a lot. This stuff goes a long way, so you don't really need to go crazy with it. That'll be good. I'm going to close this bad boy up. Just a quick tip. Make sure your hands are clean. I have a napkin over here. Make sure your hands are clean after you dip your hands in one part because you don't want to contaminate the other part in your bucket. So I'm cleaning off just a little bit, making sure I have no purple under my fingernails. Then I'm going to grab some of my part A. Again, making sure I just have equal amounts to work with. That looks good. I'm going to close up my part A. And I'm going to mix. So mixing, I usually just like flatten them out together and then I start folding them into each other. And what you want to make sure that you're seeing is that the colors are mixing as I'm folding them into each other. If you look here, you see that you have like some lines of white and some lines of purple. This is not what you want. What's great about having two different colors is that once they're evenly mixed, you know you're ready to go. So I'm going to continue mixing this. Okay, and that's what we want. If you take a look at that beautiful piece of putty, everything is even. So now I know that my stuff is mixed. I'm pretty lucky I got this one because I have time to play with it. This way, all I have to do is kind of get a nice thick piece and lay it down. I'm just pressing it into that face. And the cool thing about EQUINOX is this. It holds the vertical surfaces, as you can see here. And so I can play with this statue standing up. I've seen some tutorials online where they took this stuff and put it up against a tree so they can get an impression of the tree, which is very cool because it works as a stamp for paints and textures and sculpt and wax and clays. So I'm just working this around. Like I said, I'm going to create a chocolate piece, so I'm not going to go crazy and cover the whole thing. I just want to try to capture a detail of the head. So you want to kind of flatly push that into the neck, into the shoulders. All right, guys, it's nighttime. I'm going to bed. I'll see you in the morning when I'm demolding this. Good night. Well, good morning and welcome back. I've allowed the silicone to cure overnight. It feels set up pretty good. What I'm going to do now is just take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut a slit down the back of my silicone so I can peel it right off of my figure. I'm going to start from the bottom, working my way up. It's preferred that you do like a jagged cut. With a jagged cut, you can piece the two halves back together and they'll lock into each other. It's going to come in handy too when I throw some chocolate into this piece, and I can just easily demold the chocolate. Another cool thing you can do with this is you can bake cupcakes or any type of cake material in it. It's suggested that you don't put it in an oven above 400 degrees. Now, looking at my my mold, it looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see that, but I got some pretty good detail in there. I'm looking forward to pouring stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to a designated hot box. Unfortunately, I can't take you guys with me, but trust me, I'll be back later this afternoon. I'm going to let it sit in a hot box for about 4 hours at 212 degrees. That'll seep out all of the chemicals that are in the silicone and make it food safe. After I do that, I'm going to throw it in the dishwasher, clean it off, and then we'll be ready to pour some chocolate into it. All right? I'll see you later. Well, welcome back. We have our Equinox 40 silicone, which has been post-cured in an oven at 212 degrees for 4 hours. I also threw it in my dishwasher to clean it out, and it's ready to go. We have our rubber bands from before, which I told you I was going to show you how this works, how to use them. And we have new players in the game. We have a jar, which is going to work as a stable prop, so I can just place my silicone in there, and with the rubber band, of course, so as to close up my fissure. You can use anything from a dollar store, any cup that will hold your silicone in place, and that'll work. Last but not least, the new player in the game, chocolate. Ah, I love chocolate. I just melted some bitter chocolate, unsweetened, with some coconut oil, honey, as well as vanilla extract. Keeping it healthy as well, as healthy as possible, but you know, as possible with chocolate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our rubber bands and we're going to wrap one around the bottom, another one around the neck, and I think that may be enough, but just for safety's sake, so we don't have any drippage, maybe run around the base of the shoulders, which really doesn't fall in place. That's fine. Alright, we're going to put it in our jar. As I said, our jar is just a stabilizer for the piece. And then we are going to pour. I suggest treating this like resin. We're just going to get a small stream at first. Slosh it around a little bit. Break that surface tension in your mold. And continue to pour. And right on. beautiful. Woo, I'm making a mess. Okay. And it's yummy. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw this in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then we're going to demold. And then we're going to be able to taste this wonderful chocolate. Alright, after a few hours in the refrigerator, let's do the big reveal. We'll take off our rubber bands and slowly peel away our mold. Wow, that's more than just a piece of chocolate. That, my friend, is a piece of fudge art. There you go. Here's the original, and here's the piece. Well, enjoy working with this stuff. If you have any other questions, check out Smooth On. Well, actually, Smooth On's website, which is smooth-on.com. And if you're looking for fudge recipes, epicurious.com or tvfoodnetwork.com are pretty good. I'm going to try a piece of this. Oh my god, that's so good. Well, as you can see from the fudge, I gotta go clean up. Enjoy making your pieces, and I'll see you later.